My mom was like, if we're not shopping at Target and Amazon, then where are we shopping? Girl, we're not. That's the point. Like, we need to be saving money. Hello? Do you not see what's about to go down? Do you not see what's already happening? Babes, put the cart away. We're not buying a thing.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Nah, no funny. I be dumb happy when I go the whole entire week and I get my new paycheck and I realize I did not spend no money at all. Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, the easiest thing to spend money on is food, hands down. When I come back home from work, I walk past 4 to 5 delis, depending on the route I take. So I can spend money just like this. I could pick up this, get a sandwich, get chips. I also pass Dollar Tree on the way home too. Like, it's too easy to spend money in these days, bruh. Especially on food, because I'm always ready to eat something. I gotta stop. Especially when it comes to that 3 a.m. DoorDash temptations. The 3 a.m. DoorDash temptations will have you doing crazy stuff, spending $40 on food you about to eat in 30 seconds. But when you don't spend no money and you check that balance and your money only went up, chef's kiss, it'd be the best feeling, hands down.
I'm finna give y'all a couple reasons why y'all need to save money while y'all young. If you at the age between 12 and 25, y'all really need to hear this. Number one, not wanting to be broke. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's hard working a job that you don't want to be at, but bro, it's harder being broke. You can't function without money in this world. Money rules the world. Even if you at the job you don't like right now, bro, a hustle is a hustle, bro. You have to put your money up. Especially when you young, bro. When you young, that's when you have to do it right now. Because when you get older, you go regret it. Bro, I don't care if you working at a fast food restaurant. A hustle is a hustle, bro. Don't ever let nobody knock your hustle. Number two, being financially stable. Now, I'm not saying you have to be rich. Clearly, I'm not rich myself. But I'm doing well enough to save money. When you young and making your own money, you're going to want to save more money. You don't want to depend on people. And if you young right now and you saving up for a car, this is the best way to do it. Every check you get, save 60%, live off 40%. I'm telling y'all, it's go work.
Here's 6 money moves I've cut out as a 26-year-old financially responsible girly with a 6-figure net worth. First is paying full price on big purchases. Before I buy anything big like flight tickets or electronics, I always like to check for discounts, cashback offers, or ways to use points. Second is not keeping enough in my checking account. In the past, I didn't want to keep too much in my checking account because it paid 0.01% compared to a high yield savings account. So by default, I was keeping $1,000 in that account, and then I would get hit with an overdraft fee when a bill came in. Now I try to keep anywhere from $3 to $5K in my checking account at any given point. Third is keeping any money in a traditional savings account. Most big banks pay almost nothing in interest. So if you're keeping your emergency fund in a traditional savings account, then you're losing out. I keep mine in a high yield savings account that earns real interest, and it's passive income that earns me a flight ticket every year. Fourth is using a debit card. I know for some people that might sound crazy, but if you watch finance creators Alexis and Dean, you would know why. Debit cards have a higher risk for fraud than credit cards. So personally, I like to pay everything with a credit card, and I have auto pay set up so that it pays the statement balance in full every single month. And that way, not only am I getting fraud protection on every purchase, but I'm earning cash back and points to travel. Next, fifth is using any buy now or pay later service. These apps make spending feel easier. They're designed to trick you into thinking that something is more affordable than it actually is. I like to focus on saving for big purchases ahead of time and sinking funds. I actually talked about that in this video here. And last but not least, 6 is falling for lifestyle creep. It is way too easy to justify spending more when you start earning more, and that's where lifestyle creep can derail your financial progress. Even if you're earning a 6-figure income, overspending on extra dinners, trendy clothes, or upgrading to a bigger car or bigger home can ultimately lead you to living paycheck to paycheck. How I like to manage lifestyle creep is that I always pay myself first. When my paycheck comes in, it always goes into my savings and investment accounts first. And so only after paying future me first can I indulge with whatever is left over. That way, I'm never sacrificing my long-term goals for short-term gratification. If this is resonating with you, don't forget to follow for more money tips like this.
Yesterday was like the first day in 6 months that I didn't spend any money. Today I've already had to go out and buy bottled water, so I only drink bottled water. I do not drink tap water. I usually grab these alkaline waters. They're $1 at the dollar store or Dollar General. And I do my best to drink one of those every day so I can stay hydrated. But regardless of all that, I'm just really proud that I was actually able to not spend any money yesterday. For those of you who follow me, you know that I'm trying to save money and invest in things like that. I hope to have a couple more days this month where I don't have to spend anything. I almost did it the other day on the 5th, but I did end up buying some Reese's Cups for $1, so that didn't count. And yes, I know I'm not supposed to be eating candy, but sometimes I just want candy. I even ended up getting a Twix ice cream bar today, too. That just means I gotta work out a little bit harder, but that's good. I'll punish myself in the gym. And as always, I love y'all, and peace out.
So I just wanted to come on here and remind you why it is such a good idea to have an emergency fund set aside, because you never know when something's going to pop up that you are not thinking about. So for example, last Friday was payday and we had $500 left over after I paid all of our bills. So I put that aside into our savings account because I knew we had a couple doctor's appointments coming up and I didn't know how much it was going to cost. They were dental appointments. But my kids ended up getting really sick. I had to take them into the pediatrician. It was a $25 copay for both of them. So I paid $50. My 5-year-old Oakland, she ended up with an ear infection, so I had to get her an antibiotic, had to pay for that. And my husband had to go to the doctor to get, he had a lump in his chest that just randomly showed up, so we had to go get that looked at. That's what we thought. He was just going in for that, pay his $25 copay, probably get an antibiotic, which he did get an antibiotic. But he also walked out of that appointment with 4 other medications for things that he didn't even know about. He was diagnosed with a couple different things. So, needless to say, after all of that, I ended up using $350 out of my $500 that I had set aside. So that is why it is so important to always have some sort of emergency fund, some sort of money set aside for things that pop up, especially in the wintertime. When people get sick, things happen. I was not expecting any of that. So I'm so glad that we had money set aside because it made me feel so much better. I did not have to dip into our actual emergency fund and I didn't have to use a credit card. So I'm so happy about that. But I just wanted to remind you, please, I promise you it'll make you feel so much better when things like this pop up. Just set aside some money for a rainy day because it happens. It happens far too often. But yes, just my little tip for the day I thought I would share with you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.
If you order food a lot and want to save money, listen to this and don't say I ain't never taught you nothing. So you call the restaurant, order your food, then get on your phone, order a Uber Connect, like the package one, to go pick up your food and bring it to you. And you'll bypass all them fees on Uber Eats and the service fee, the tax, all of that. And the Uber Connect fees are always way cheaper than the Uber fee. Like to call a regular Uber to go get it and bring it. No, it'd be like $5. Well, I'm in Houston, so this works in Houston.
Save your money because it's gonna save you. Y'all know see what's going on in this world right now? I don't know. I don't think we ain't doing too good. I think we need to all be saving our money. Don't buy nothing you don't need right now.
I am trying budgeting basically for the first time ever, and here are all the things that I forgot to budget for that we needed to pay for this paycheck. Okay, Logan's truck needed an oil change. He does it himself. He drives an old F-350. He does it himself. It was like $120 for all the things. Totally forgot about that. Dog food. We needed dog food. This was $90 that I forgot about. Our heat bill went up $84. It's normally like $50, so it went up by like $30, which not a big deal, whatever. Pilates. My Pilates subscription billed me, even though they shouldn't have. I canceled it. Last month should have been the last month that they billed me. I had to email in and get them to refund it. They did, but it's still showing in my account that it hasn't been refunded yet. I got a receipt that they did refund it. It just takes a couple days, she said, to go back in the account. So that's annoying, but whatever. Logan's freaking PlayStation Live account charged us for his like yearly subscription, which $150, something like that. He totally forgot it was happening. I don't really care. I'm not going to take away little joys from him like that. He's barely home. He plays his little PlayStation thing when he's at the fire station, so whatever. And then we needed air filters for basically our whole house, and that was like $50, I think. So all the things I forgot to budget for, I'm learning. I'm trying to be better. Obviously, next paycheck, I'll leave a little bit more wiggle room.
I've been sharing my money saving tips on TikTok for 1.5 years as a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids living on one really low income, and every single time I share a video, the video blows up, goes super viral, and what comes with a viral video is a lot of hate. So here are the money saving tips that get the most hate. Number one and the most hated might surprise you, but it is the fact that we don't pay for Wi-Fi. People really believe that I am neglecting my children because we don't pay for Wi-Fi and they don't watch Netflix or Disney Plus. But it saves us about $150 a month, so I don't care. Another one that got us a lot of hate was hand-me-down clothes for our 4 kids, and the fact that I try to buy gender-neutral clothes so that all of my kids can wear them. The fact that this got hate is a crazy concept to me, because are there people that really buy just brand new clothes for every single kid and never pass them down, even if it's a perfectly good article of clothing? Number 3 is the fact that I drive an old car to have a lower car payment and eventually no car payment. I'm not really sure why this one triggers people. Is it because you feel like that realizing that your $1,000 a month car payment is unnecessary? Another one that's got me a lot of hate is that I don't pay for hair extensions and my hair still looks great. And one of the most hated money saving tips is that I don't buy my kids toys. About 3 years ago, I started investing in multi-use toys, which means that they can grow with them, which means that they are used for a certain purpose whenever they're babies, toddlers, and then they're used for different purposes as they grow. A lot of people hate that one. We've been successfully raising our 4 kids on one very low income for a long time now. I will say, disclaimer, I did start making extra money on social media within the last about 10 months consistently, so I'm able to buy groceries now, anything extra that my kids need for sports, whatever it may be. Overall, I just hope that everybody knows that sometimes to make the dream life that you want possible, a lot of sacrifices come with that. I'm okay with sacrificing Wi-Fi. I'm okay with sacrificing a brand new car. My kids get the most excited about hand-me-downs. They love it. Yes, they get new clothes, and guess what? They're more excited whenever they get their cousins' hand-me-downs. Anyway, if we can do it, you can do it, and my goal with sharing these tips has only ever been to help a working mom or struggling stay-at-home mom to maybe not struggle as much. So yeah, I only have good intentions. Love you.
This is how you can start saving money on a low income. This is exactly what I did to save up for my down payment and all of the other expenses that came with buying a home as a single parent, single income, and not a lot of money. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut something small. It may not feel like you have any money floating around. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Things are pretty tight, but there's something. You want to review your bank statements, see what kind of subscriptions you have that maybe you can get rid of. There's something. Maybe you're paying for Netflix and you can use somebody else's. Maybe you want to downgrade from Apple Music to Pandora, which is free. Like, there's something. So you're going to want to review it, figure out what you can cut, and cut something small. The next thing you're going to want to do is automate your savings. Most businesses at this particular point allow you to get direct deposit for your paycheck. You're going to want to go into whatever that system is for your job and automate your savings. Start with something small. That expense you just cut, go ahead and use that money, that $5, $10, whatever it is, and automatically have it go into a separate savings account. Not the same savings account that is attached to your checking account. That money's too easy to transfer. Go ahead and open a separate savings account that is an online savings account, because it's not as easy to get to. It usually takes about 24 to 48 hours to transfer that money. And if you automate it, it goes there automatically. When you get paid, you never see it, therefore you never miss it. And last but not least, that savings account that you're opening, that separate account, you want it to be a high yield savings account. More than likely, like I said, it's going to be an online account. I use Ally Banking, or Ally, it might not be banking, but they have a higher interest rate than what a normal bank would have. Like Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, all of those have really, really small interest rates, like your APY that you get on the money you have in there, and that's just kind of throwing money away. So you want your money to make money. Even if it's not a lot, it's going to grow. So you're going to want to put it in a high yield savings account. You're welcome in advance.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
How to save money every single paycheck? Prioritize it. Do that before you do anything else. And I mean literally, before you go buy breakfast, before you go pay a bill, before you put gas in your car, go and transfer at least 10% minimum to your savings account. If you can do 10%, if you can't, do 5%. If you can't do that, do something. But the reason I say that is because a lot of times we get paid and we go pay everybody else. We do everything else. And then after doing everything else,
then we try to save, and then the money is, you know, kind of a little shorter than what it was when we first got that direct deposit, when we first got that check. So now it makes it a lot more harder to save, because if you put away $100 or $200, now you only got $100 to live off of. But in the meantime, between you getting paid and when you get to, you know, $200 left, you probably spent a lot of money on some things that you didn't need, that weren't necessary. But if you would have saved that at the beginning and prioritize that, you wouldn't be put in that situation. You would have still got to save money. You would have avoided going and wasting money, and you would have, you know, got a win-win. And at the time of this video, it's Friday, it's payday for a lot of people, so I just wanted to come and give you guys that paycheck tip. Paying yourself first has literally changed my life. So I just wanted to come and provide that for anybody that wanted to listen.
Please stop listening to these people on this app telling y'all that you don't have to save to get your own apartment. Yes, the fuck you do. Now, I understand it's not fortunate for everybody to save. Some people are in different situations where they just have to get up and go, and that's totally fine. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people like myself that are able to save, staying at their parents' house or grandparents, whoever house. If you have the opportunity to put money up, even if it's $1,000, put the fucking money up, because I'm telling you, there's nothing worse than getting in a bond knowing that you don't have no money saved up when you could have just put $500 to $1,000 up or something, and it's there. So please do yourself a favor. If you are trying to get an apartment, like myself, I'm in the process of trying to get my own place. If you are trying to get your apartment, putting money to the side is very important, because when it starts time to applying and you got to pay them $250, $300 application fees and fees on top of a fee and pet fee and this fee, moving fee, especially if your credit is not as good, I'm telling you, you're going to be forking out money out the ass. So put money to the side. Stop listening to these people on this app. Just because it worked for them, that don't mean it's going to work for you.
Girls are being financially responsible, so let's talk about my top tips for saving money in 2024. Number one, get a grip on your impulse spending. My impulse spending got me into 25 grand worth of credit card debt during college and the years after, and I had so much stuff that I just bought on an impulse, didn't save up for, and didn't even really want. I just bought it because it was right in front of me. My tip for that is, if you see something that you want to buy, put it in your notes list and think about it for at least a week before pulling the trigger and buying it. If you don't still want it really bad after a week, then you shouldn't be buying it in the first place. Yeah, this one is huge, but why are people paying so much money for food delivery? If you're someone that has no financial stress and you're willing to pay that for convenience, 100% understand. But if you're trying to save money, there is no reason you should be paying twice the amount you would normally pay to get Chick-fil-A delivered to your door. Just go out and get it yourself. TV subscriptions. Do you really need a subscription to every single streaming service that's available? Pick your top used one or two and delete the rest. Overconsumption of clothes. I had a big reality check recently when my mom was telling a story about how when she was in high school, she had 3 different shirts and 2 pairs of pants that she got to pick from to wear to school for the whole week. I do not need 70 different outfits in my closet, and just because I'm being influenced on TikTok does not mean I need to go and spend my hard-earned money just to buy clothes when I have plenty of clothes in my closet. On that note, you can rewear items from last season. It is okay to rewear clothes that you wore last year. I am so big on that. Lastly, traveling has become so normalized. It's become the standard to go on like multiple trips a year, and can I just tell you that if you cannot afford that, you are very normal and you do not need to feel pressure to go out of the country on a Europe vacation twice a year, much less once a year if you're in your 20s. Do not let this app convince you that jet setting all over the place is normal for people in their 20s. It's not normal.
How much do y'all have in y'all savings, okay? Because I was talking to this older lady at the grocery store the other day, and she proceeds to tell me that she feels like this younger generation, we're just not saving, we're just not working as hard as we used to, and da-da-da-da. She feels like when people were our age, they already had houses and this, that, and the third. And I'm looking at her like, yeah, back in your day, lady, you're like 200 years old. Like, shit is different. Like, I literally know so many people that do not have a savings. They do not have anything saved up right now. And they work good jobs. They spend their money wisely. But I just feel like in the economy that we live in, it's so hard to save. And that's what I'm telling her. And she's like, well, they have to cut out those privileges and those wants, like spending money unnecessarily. And I'm like, they barely go out the house. What else are they supposed to be cutting money down on? Like, let's be for real. The older generation, y'all just do not understand. I'm trying to see, how much do y'all have saved up? Because I feel like it can't just be the only people that I know that are struggling to save money right now.
If you don't see it, then it is harder to spend. So I highly recommend a high yields savings account. And just overall, it comes down to self-discipline, guys. That's it. If you have a goal and you truly want to accomplish that, you will find ways to save. If you truly want to accomplish your goals and your dreams and aspirations, you will find ways.
I have cheap parents who taught me a lot about saving money, so I'm going to share my favorite money saving tips because I realized that not everyone was lucky/unlucky enough to have cheap parents. And when I say cheap, I mean like my mom was borderline an extreme couponer when I was younger. So today's tip is something that I actually use today, okay, and it's this. If you go to the doctors or the hospital and you get a bill in the mail, your medical bills are usually negotiable. And there's layers to that because they may say they're not negotiable, but they are, like you need to be persistent. So my most recent example is this. I went to the dermatologist several weeks ago and I got a bill in the mail for like several $100s because I haven't hit my deductible yet. So I call the billing department and I say, hi, I just got my bill. Is there any discount if I pay in full? Because that's like a benefit to them if you just like pay it all at once. The first time I called was last week. She puts me on hold, talks to the office manager, says there's no discount. So I call back yesterday to check again and she was like, actually, I don't know. Call back tomorrow. There's someone else who can help you. So I call back today. At first she says no, then she puts me on hold and she's like reading the details of what I had done and she gets back on the phone and she's like, just as a courtesy, we'll give you a 10% discount. She made it sound like there was this big favor, like this one-time thing, but from experience, this is almost always works. Like I've gotten up to 20% off, but I have heard cases of like really big bills where people get like 70% off. Like it's very possible. There are also way more nuances, like asking for an adjustment based on your income, like waiting for it to go to collections and then negotiating it. I think there are also like professional hospital bill negotiators out there, but like no matter what, you always want to request an itemized bill, but offering to pay in full for a discount is like your best bet for some quick savings. I have way more money saving tips though, so let me know if you want a part 2.
So I got a new job, not just a new job, but a whole new career. Some people have even said to me, I don't know if I could do that at this point. It does have me really nervous. But then there's that part of me that's like, I'm totally gonna slay this. I've been doing the same thing, doing the same habits, doing the same job, doing the same foods for so long. I just need such a change. And if things are gonna change, I have to change them right at the core. There's some things I'm totally okay with. Like, I believe I'm a kind person where I don't know if I always have been. I put my trust and faith in a higher power. I try to be a good friend and family member. And I don't do work on just the outside, but I also do work on the inside also. So I think I can totally slay this job. And it was a lot of fun setting up a home office, like a real home office. I've met some really great new people that I really enjoy their company. And I think this gives me an opportunity for really, really amazing work-life balance. And that'll give me those extra time with them grandbabies. And I've heard a lot of, you have grandchildren? I'm like, yeah, it's good genes. Amazing things are coming to me this year. I can feel it. They're really, really coming. And I think we're going to start with a really great night of sleep. Good night, guys.
It's borderline impossible to save money. Like, especially if you're already, like, sacrificing, like, not going out as much, not doing this, and that. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to save money and not eating, not getting gas for my car, not getting tissue paper, paper towels for my apartment? Like, where am I supposed to save the money at? Like, really, you just need to make more money, which is, like, also a hard thing. Like, now you gotta think, okay, what can I possibly do to make some more money? And then 9 times out of 10, before you make some money, you're gonna have to invest some money so that you can start making some more money. And it's like, dang, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, honestly, what am I supposed to do? Like, saving money is borderline impossible. Oh yeah, and then you gotta eat. Like, what am I supposed to do? Not eat? Like, yeah, you can cook at home all the time, but doing it every single night is, like, also unrealistic. Like, you still have to buy food out sometimes in the week. Like, how, like, saving money is impossible. Like,
here are the 3 things I changed about my spending in January that allowed me to save $800 more that month than any month last year. The biggest one is tracking my impulse spending. Anytime I want to buy anything, I put it on a list in my phone and it has to stay there for at least a month before I'm allowed to buy it. There's not been one single thing that I feel like I need after that month. Also, I can fully understand that this is not as easy as it sounds. I am a chronic overspender. I thought nothing of putting everything on my credit card that I wanted and I would just pay for it later. So it's been a huge struggle and a huge change for me. And so we're along on this journey together because it is tough. Number 2 is tracking all of my expenses so that I can see where all of my money is going. If I have to go in there and put it in a spreadsheet every single week, I'm not going to want to add in the random spending that I do. So that has helped me control it a lot by actually looking at what I'm spending. Number 3 is making a budget and sticking to it. I have a plan for every single dollar when I get paid, and that new hydro jug that I really, really want is not in that budget at all. I feel like if I already have a plan for every dollar, then that dollar is already allocated, and so I don't have the money to impulse purchase, which I think has helped me a lot. A little bonus thing that's helped me is I have set out my goals for the year down to the paycheck, so I know how much I want to put in there, and I know that if I spend the $100 at area that I really, really want, I'm not going to be able to meet those goals, and that's really motivated me because I can clearly see the plan laid out of how I'm going to reach those goals. And I think that has been super helpful in keeping myself accountable. Happy saving!
The price on everything is about to go up, potentially with all these new tariffs and such going on. So what are we going to do about it? Are we just going to let it happen to us, or are we going to be proactive? What is being proactive? Let me say it like this. Some of us out here raw dogging our finances and be surprised at the end of the month when you end up with a little financial situation. Yes, the price of eggs are high as hell, but let's talk about the hundreds of dollars you spent last month on stuff you don't even remember where it went. Oh, the prices of groceries are so high. But you went out to eat 16 times last month. The real question is, do you know where all your money went last month? Can you put a name to every dollar? And if you can't, don't worry, I'm here to help, because it is now day 35 of trying not to spend money on things I don't need. I'm starting to realize that yes, making more money is great, but it's all about being responsible with the money you do have. You could end up broke in any situation. Just go ask majority of the retired football players that end up broke who made more money than we ever will. And if you still can't make ends meet while making every dollar count, then I'm gonna need you to hop on Indeed, my friend, today. A new job is in your future. I see it.
I have never been able to stick to a budget, but I changed that this year, and here is exactly how I did it. Granted, we are 1 month in, but it's going really well so far. The first thing I did was I wrote down all of my bills, subscriptions, everything, and the day that they came out of my bank account. That way I knew, and whenever I budgeted my paychecks, I knew what I had to pay that with that pay. I never did this before. I never knew when anything was due. Whenever it would come up, it would come up. I wasn't never prepared, so this was super helpful and was the number 1 thing that I had to do to get started. The next step is as soon as I get paid, I sit down and I write down where every single dollar that I just got paid is going. That way I know in my mind that every dollar is accounted for. I don't have the room or the money to spend on other things that I don't need because I have it already previously allocated to something else. So in my mind, then I really just don't have the money to spend, even though technically I'm putting in savings or whatever I'm doing, but I already have plans for it, so I cannot be spending on things that I didn't plan for. Obviously, things come up, but I think this is really helpful in stopping impulse spending because you know where everything's going, you know where every dollar is going. You cannot buy the random shirt you walked by in Target or the random new home decor that you don't actually need. So I think this is super helpful, and it's what's helped me be successful so far this year. I use a budgeting spreadsheet, but you could literally just write on a piece of paper, just have the plan. That way you know what you're doing going into the next 2 weeks or next week, whatever that is. Coming from someone who constantly shopped last year and wasted money, it is so much easier for you to have a plan, and it will be so helpful in reaching your goals.
Okay, so my biggest tip for saving money, this has seriously been such a game changer for me. Basically just work from sun up to sundown. You won't have time to spend any money. Work before the stores open and then after they close, okay? And you think, oh, but what about online shopping? Well, honey, once you get home, you're gonna be so freaking exhausted that you're not even gonna have the energy to do anything but go to sleep. Works like a charm, so follow for more life-changing tips.
6 months emergency savings is, could you and your partner both lose your jobs, have no income coming in, and you would be okay for 6 months. Like, that's how much money you have saved. You'd be okay for 6 months. Living the way you live pretty much, maybe not exactly, you know, you're not like eating out, you're not doing some things because you both have lost your jobs, but neither of you have this income and you're still okay because you have 6 months worth of savings. So for me and my husband, it looks something like this. We have our mortgage, our car payment, we have car insurance, internet, cell phone, groceries, preschool, gas, utilities, home repairs, like other needs, clothes, shoes, other needs, and then miscellaneous. So this could even be broken down a little bit. We do spend more now than $700 on groceries, but if we both lost our jobs, like had absolutely no income coming in, I could be tighter there. We could take my daughters out of the 2-day-a-week preschool. We could sell my husband's truck and not have a car payment at all. There are even things that we could break down from here, but this is kind of like minimum. Like to live basically the way we're living now, this is what we would need. And that totals $4,646 every single month that we would need. Times 6 is $27,876. So that's how much we need saved in order to live comfortably for 6 months if neither of us had any income coming in. And that's why you don't see me saving much each month, is because my husband and I do have that. So I'm not working toward this like big savings goal, because we have that, and we've had that for a while. We've been lucky. We haven't had any like major repairs to our house or like major car troubles or like things, and we don't have any other debt other than our car payment, our mortgage. So we've been lucky to be able to save that and have that and just kind of keep that.
I ain't gonna lie, saving money is an addictive game. Because once you reach a certain amount of bread that you never reached before, it's damn near disrespectful that you never had that amount of money saved up. And it's like you can't go back. Imagine if you saved up 5 bands and that's the most bread you ever had saved up. And then you realize, you're like, damn, I'm tripping. Well, I only saved 5 bands. Because you was young and you ain't need it. Now you older and now you need 100 racks.
So many people in here talk about saving your first $100,000 and how impactful that is for your financial freedom. But for a lot of people, honestly, that feels very out of touch. Personally, I think saving your first $10,000 is as big of a step as saving your first $100,000. And here's why. The first reason why saving that first $10,000 is so important, and probably the most important, is because you just prove to yourself that you can do it. When you set a goal like that financially and you're actually able to achieve it, you've proved to yourself that you can do what most of the population can't do, which is get out of debt and actually save money. Second reason is your next financial goal will seem a lot less scary. And that's because if you save $10,000, then you can just tell yourself, I just have to do that 10 more times and I'll reach that $100,000 point. The third and last reason why saving your first $10,000 is so impactful is because you just created the good habit of saving money and getting out of debt. And that is honestly the best thing you can do for your life, because you're setting yourself up to be financially free. And the beautiful thing is you're going to be able to retire when you're a lot younger than most people who honestly can probably never retire because they have to keep working to pay off the debt and pay for their cost of living. So don't forget, even if you just saved $10,000, that is a huge milestone and you need to celebrate that, because that means that you've created the habits and the mindset to get to the $100,000. Make sure to follow me for more finance tips.
One of my goals for 2025 is to spend less money, and I feel like for January, I've done pretty good so far. So I'm gonna go over my list of rules that I have been following to help me spend less money. Okay, so rule number 1 is needs versus wants. Is this thing that I am buying something that I genuinely need, or is it something that I want? If it's something that I actually want, then I'll wait anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to make sure that it's something that I genuinely want and that I know that I'm going to use and that's going to be beneficial to my life. Okay, so the last thing is setting a monthly budget. I feel like setting a monthly budget is such a great goal because it obviously like helps me to stay on track for what I'm spending every single month. And also my monthly budget, I kind of look at it as a way of like, this is what I can spend on groceries, like important household items and things that I actually need. And then I'll put like aside, you know, $50 or whatever for the month that I can get something special, whether that's like a coffee or a cute outfit or something like for my hair or whatever, so that I can like stay super regiment with what I'm spending. So number 4 is to avoid lifestyle inflation. So basically what this means is that if I make more money, it doesn't mean I'm going to spend more money. I feel like sometimes as a society, we think that if we have more money and that we're making more money, we can spend more. But in reality, if you can live off of what you were living off of before comfortably, then like why spend more money and waste more money on overconsumption when you could just save it? Now, if I am gonna buy something, I am a type of person who wants to declutter my home. And so if I'm gonna buy something, it means that more stuff is coming into my house and less stuff is getting thrown away or donated or whatever. So I'm trying to create a rule that if something comes in to my house, something that I buy, one in, one out. So I have to choose something that I'm gonna either donate or throw away that I don't use anymore. And this is just a way to keep track of like decluttering and getting rid of stuff that I just don't need or don't use, or something that maybe someone else could use. As like an overconsumer myself, I'm trying my best to just overconsume less and actually bring things into my home that are intentional and that are going to be beneficial to my daily life. Okay, this last one is my favorite because I feel like I was subscribed to so many different like subscriptions that I was paying for that I wasn't using. And honestly, like it felt so good to go in and delete most of them. Now, I only kept the ones that I genuinely use. Like I get a subscription for my my period, so I get a subscription for that. And just like my Branch Basics that I use to clean my house, that's a subscription because you save more money in the long run when you subscribe. So but I like went in and I deleted so many different subscriptions that are on my phone, that are through like the App Store. I was paying like $5 a month for like random stuff that I didn't even know that I was paying for. So I'm just trying to be super mindful about what I do subscribe to, and have it be something that's genuinely for me that I use on a daily basis. So those are all my tips that I've been working on for 2025. And I feel like they've been working pretty well for me, and I'm really excited to see what I save for 2025 and what I don't buy. So I have a lot of fun shopping, and I do love shopping, but I also love saving money. So this is going to be my year of saving, and yeah.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.